good, everybody? This is Link Green, the chemist. Here I am with some more pertinent information for you. And that pertinent information, as always, is dealing with our emotions and everything that we have going on. And I want you to really take this in and think about what's going on with what I have to say. So recently I seen a tweet from a young lady named Bruna. So what she said kind of took me to this place, because I'm currently experiencing this, and it's a great feeling, right? But I also remembered when I didn't feel this way, and when I quite frankly just felt horrible about my trauma and emotional feelings, right? So she said, sex is cool, but have you ever had someone give you so much emotional safety that you were able to break down and process trauma right in front of them without fear of being judged or ridiculed? And the truth is, many of us as men don't have that. And you know, we have a twofold job here. The first job as men is to unpack that trauma, unpack those deeply embedded emotional issues that we're dealing with. And the second job is for us to check each other on those things. Okay, so I felt like this was major because we both need this. As men and women, we both need this. But the common theme is that we as men, we don't open up enough. And this is true in a lot of ways, but I think people sort of overlook the reason for this. And this is not to make any excuses at all, because there's no excuse ultimately for us not opening up to the people who we feel like should love us. We feel like we want them to love us. So in order for us to learn to do this, love and be loved better, you know, being that as an issue that we deal with, I just wanted to give 5 reasons or 5 ways that we can allow ourselves to be given the proper environment to open up more, and how our women, or whatever we're into, can give us the circumstances that we need to open up more. All right? So again, as men, we have to 1, unpack our issues, and 2, which is very imperative, we have to start checking each other. And once we do that, once we start checking each other, we can love ourselves better, which allows us to love our families, our children, our women better in turn as well. So let's talk about childhood trauma. We all have it. I don't care who you are or how hard you think you are, how cool you think you are. We all have childhood trauma, especially in our communities. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it real. That trauma is passed down. If you're familiar with Dr. Joy DeGroy, she talks about post-traumatic slave syndrome. And PTSD is something that circulates in our communities, you know, at inordinate numbers, all right, at astronomical numbers, from our young boys and girls all the way up to our adults and what we experience in our adulthoods. So that trauma is key in what we're dealing with as far as our relationships and our occupations, our professional lives, everything that we can think of that we put our hands on, our trauma affects it, okay? So when we talk about our trauma, as young boys, even though I do contend that young boys are taught, you know, boys will be boys no matter what you do, you're not wrong, we still on the other side of that are taught that we can't show any emotions because, hey, you got it all going for you. Everything that you do is basically given a pass by your gender, by your sex, right? So why are you crying about things that you're supposed to be able to accept? So from very young ages, we're taught that we can't talk about what we're feeling emotionally. We have to basically deal with it, you know what I mean? Suck it up and figure out a way to put on this mask so that it doesn't come through that we're dealing with the things that we're dealing with. That's what's causing the underlying issues when we step into these intimate relationships. So again, we're basically made fun of for expressing our feelings. And this is something that I think women kind of understand it, but I don't think they understand the degree of it. And I guess that's kind of contradicting because women have children, right? They have boy children, and they see, or they may even inflict this idea of, hey, you can't really express your feelings. So we don't want to look weak to others. So do you want to continue to self-sabotage is the question, or do you want to learn how you can grow from these issues that we all have? It's not just you. You're not this weak person who just can't deal. We're judging or we're blaming the other person for our own faults so that we don't have to look in that mirror and really pick apart that reflection that we see. So what do you want to do is the ultimate question, and how you determine what your goals are. We don't want to have have our feelings thrown in our face. When we say, yo, hey, I don't like that. That shit made me feel X, Y, and Z. And I don't want to feel that way anymore. So this is why we avoid talking about our trauma and talking about what has triggered us. And this is why we shut down and nobody knows, hey, why isn't Link talking to me anymore? Why isn't Link coming over anymore? I haven't heard from Link in you know what I mean, in such and such amount of time. Well, Link don't want to deal with having his feelings thrown in his face. And I want that to be something that we really focus on, because this is the crux of the problem as far as why a lot of men don't talk to their women about what they're going through. So again, like I told you, I'm the chemist, right? Chemists, scientists, they figure out problems and then they figure out solutions for those problems. So here's how I see it and what we can do to address these issues that we say we don't want to have anymore. So number one, I want you to first understand that women owe you no obligation for your emotional repair. So if you refuse to unpack and deal with your trauma and your emotional issues, it is up to that woman whether or not she wants to continue to deal with you. You're probably one of those people who got ghosted because you feel like you would like to avoid your issues and make that woman the center of your issues. So in an attempt to not deal with what you have going on, you project everything onto her. You self-sabotage. Number two, you get what you attract. So if you're constantly talking about the bad in women, oh, women do this, oh, Cardi B this, oh, Megan Thee Stallion this, yeah, I know. So if you're constantly focused on the women like that and not focused on the women who you would like to attract, guess what you're going to continue to attract? A lot of you are focusing on these types of women and using them as scapegoats, as if you have no flaws. Number three, you're not gonna like, but I'm gonna ask you a question. Have you ever tried abstinence until you get yourself into a better emotional state? Have you ever tried not having sex with other people who may have emotional issues? This may absolutely help you, you never know, because when you have sex with someone, look up the research on it. You can pick up emotional information from people just by standing next to them. So what do you think it does when you have sex with them? Just something to think about. Free yourself from their emotional energy and then deal with your own. Number four, and something that we really don't like to address, and something that I had to deal with myself. What's your relationship like with your mother? Because your mother, that maternal relationship and your childhood experiences with her set the pace for the rest of your life and your interpersonal relationships that develop who you are. This is your first understanding of life. So if these are the very rudimental elements of who we are, then imagine how they affect us in our regular lives, in our emotional lives, in our interpersonal relationships. But your mother's the one who carried you for 9 months, and any trauma that she felt in her womb was recorded within you. And it's not up to your woman to deal with for you. Number five, and another complex topic that we don't like to really deal with because it seems, gay or whatever the case may be. But are you balancing that masculine, assertive, and material focused energy with that feminine energy? The feminine energy is the empathy instead of apathy. The focus on relationships and intuition. Are you balancing those things so that you can see life through the lens of both types of energy? And don't think that just because we started this conversation off with men, that we're not gonna focus on women. Because of course, just like it's our responsibility to check each other, we can also check the women who we're in relationships with, the women who we're related to and we have relationships with. And this is things that other men have said that they needed, and these are reoccurring themes. All right, so please, don't come after me. Don't take my head off for this, okay? So number one, work on your shit too. If you have unaddressed issues and you want us to address our issues, then your unaddressed issues are only gonna add to the big pot, gumbo of the issues that we already have. So you can't constantly pick us apart if you don't want to be picked apart yourself and not deal with what you have going on. So an example of that, or not an example, just a little advice would be, before I tell this man that I love what my issues are with him, I need to probably figure out whether or not my issues are something that I have, or are led by something that I have going on internally. And if that's the case, then unpack that. And if it's not, and you can be completely objective, then all right, maybe you should tread lightly, but tell this man that you love what it is that you're going through. And unpack your own emotional issues before you strive to tell us everything that's wrong with us. So number 2, if you would like to get your man to communicate with you better, you would like to work on your relationship, then definitely number 2 is for you. One of the primary reasons why we don't really speak about our feelings is because we anticipate them being thrown up in our face, used against us being taunted, because let's keep it real. Most women don't have the physical power that we have. So it's not like they can smack us around or beat us up the way that they want to. Now, I'm not saying that women don't abuse men, just like men abuse women. But what I am saying is, where a lot of women may feel powerful is by taking those emotional blows, those below the belt blows. So working on your own issues will help you if and when you get him to speak about his feelings, because he will feel that he's in that predicament, or he's in that environment where he's able to unpack his trauma and his emotional problems and feel completely safe. Because let's face it, throwing shit up in people's faces is the quickest way, no matter whether they're a man or a woman, to get them to shut down. I mean, how did you feel, or how have you felt when someone threw something up in your face? It doesn't feel really good, so just something to think about. And bruh, men do it too. So if you don't like it, again, how does it feel when someone else does it to you? Number 3, and this is a funny one. It's something that we make a lot of jokes about. But yo, stop expecting men to read your mind. All right, and I already covered the feminine and masculine energy and us working to be more empathic or empathy focused. But if that's something we're working on, you can't expect us to have it all down right now. Of course, we're telepathic, or we communicate telepathically, but come on, like, certain stuff we just don't know. We just don't know, and we do attempt to make an effort at times. I know that because of our natures, men are a lot more self-centered than women are. All right, a woman, nurtures and holds a baby and grows a baby, so she's taught to be selfless by her very nature. So I know that men can be a bit self-centered or selfish. But explain things to us, especially if we're asking. You can't get mad because we don't know, like that. Come on, bro. I don't even know what to say about that. What's wrong, babe? You don't know? No, I don't. That's kind of why I asked. Like, you want to tell me? No, because you should know. Like, tell us. We asking. We want to know. You know what I mean? We want to know. Please, ladies. So yeah, if we're attempting and we're balancing our masculine energy and our feminine energy, yada yada, then give them some information, some feedback, not clues. Like outright. Men need stuff outright. That's why we're fixers. When you tell us a problem, we strive to fix it, because when we have it outright, we can put it together at that point. So can you do that for us? Please. Thank you. All right. Number 4. Did I say number 4? I didn't write it down. Did I say number 4? Number 4. Nagging don't work. Nagging doesn't. Nagging. Y'all work jobs, right? The micromanaging manager who's always over your shoulder and, hey, you need to do it like this, not that, and have you finish this and you're already working on something else, or telling you to do stuff that you're already, attempting to do. How does that make you feel? How do you feel about that? Not too good. So imagine how your man feels when you're constantly nagging him. A lot of times we don't listen. I get it. I'm not making an excuse for that, and I'm not telling you to overlook that, but nagging does not work. Nagging doesn't help. It drives everyone crazy, including yourself. Okay, including yourself. I can't tell you, or I don't want to attempt to tell you what is the way, but nagging ain't it. We are going to shut down, and if you don't want us to shut down, then you should probably strive to find something different. If you don't care, then, you know, keep on nagging. But that's number 4. Number 5. 5. Sometimes it'll help the person you love even more if you leave them alone and set boundaries until they work on themselves the way that you want them to. So as men, we don't respect anyone who lets us run all over them. If you let us run all over you, we're gonna continue to run all over you, and we're going to push the limits of those boundaries that you set. And if the boundaries are non-existent, forget it. Like, forget about it. Like, we gonna... Can I get a witness? Set boundaries. If you really love us, if you know that they love you, you know that they respect you, but it's certain things that they won't really get. Like I said, the nagging isn't gonna work. The setting boundaries is the opposite of the nagging. It actually does for you what you expect the nagging to do for you. So that's it. Those are 5 ways that we as men can open up, and 5 ways that you as women can assist us and support us in opening up. And I don't know what it's gonna take for you all, because I don't know what you go through. But I ask that the same way that we hold each other accountable, or that you expect for us to hold each other accountable, you hold yourselves accountable. Now, if you're still working to figure out how your relationships can be better, or how you can love yourself so that you can love others, so that you can love your children better, then I have a few resources. Again, I am Link Green, the chemist. So I give you issues or problems, and then I give you solutions. And I also give you resources for those solutions. Okay, so one of the number 1 resources that I usually refer people to is dreamstodestiny.com. Dreamstodestiny.com is founded and ran by a woman by the name of Asha Mayat. Asha Mayat is a successful and renowned spiritual coach, advisor. She hosts classes, she hosts workshops, all of those types of things. She also is a published author to tell you how you can manifest or begin manifesting what you want in 30 days. And how this helps you is, a lot of us want, before we want riches, before we want fame, before we want stability, we want those healthy relationships. We want a relationship where someone loves us for us, right? And you can use the power of manifestation to attract the type of relationship that you want, so that you can move on. Once you reach that step, the relationship step, then you can move on to the financial step, to the occupational step, and you can be rich and wealthy in all different ways. So hit her up, dreamstodestiny.com. That's dreams, the number 2, destiny.com. And check out what she has to offer with that. Now, if you have dealt with your own emotional issues, you dealt with your own relationship problems, interpersonal problems, you're going through stuff with your moms, you're going through stuff with your dad, you're going through stuff with your children even, yo, put it in the comment section. Comment, like, subscribe. You want to continue to get information to help you with your relationships, to help you with your emotional problems, to relate them to everything that goes on around us? Subscribe, like, share, comment. I'm with you. I'm here for you. I've gone through, if not the exact same thing, which may be a stretch, something similar I've definitely gone through. So please, like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what it is that I can help you with. All right, until next time, everyone, peace.